Yeah.
Mr. Azul Sumili, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm very well, Cafe.
Good morning. Very well. Did you watch the interview yesterday?
Yes, I did. Right now, looking at the face of the presenters, the people that are interviewing the president, their faces, they were glum, tired. They look like I shouldn't be here.
Oh, dear.
You know. Sometimes happen like that when your interviewer does not give you the light you need.
Yes.
Some people are interviewers delight. You don't want to stop, you know. Like interviewing Barack Obama, for instance.
Oh, you're going to enjoy that.
Yeah, but
you will.
Interviewing President Buhari is different. And that was what showed on the faces of the presenters yesterday that were talking to him. You know, well advertised, very well advertised interview. So we all stayed back to watch, and it was like I drank William. I wanted to sleep.
But they cannot say they did not like that the interview. The president
was actually very.
It would be boring, but
dragging and boring. It was almost like a panorama, and it was the cut and join edited already.
Yes.
It didn't meet the expectations for me. That was it. I expected a very bouncy interview, challenging, heavily interactive. Toe to toe, head to head.
It wasn't.
But it was bland and glum, and the presenters almost slept, just like me.
Yeah. Over to you, Diako.
We'll start with the Punch newspapers this morning. PDP others kick as Buhari dismisses state police, insists on grazing routes. Page 2, that's where the story is this morning. And the riders to this one, opposition party, Afenifere corporate president for saying state police not an option. Oaneze plans meeting, president dismisses plea for Nnamdi Kanu's release. We've got to go back to grazing routes to address farmers, herders clashes. Buhari.
Yeah. We want to talk about the highlights of the president's interview with Channels Television yesterday. Quite a few items you can pick out. Like I said, the entirety of the interview, it wasn't desirable in the way people want. But there were messages, so you can't run away from the fact that the president also spoke about some things. For instance, he started with the state police issue. He says that he doesn't believe in state police, essentially closing the door to state police under his tenure. It won't happen for him. And his reason is simple, that the governors will abuse it. Especially the governors. The state police is open to abuse, the governors will abuse it. And he made an example. Look at the local government system in the country today. Governors have dragged it on the mud, dragged it on the floor. No governor respects the local government system. They take their phones and release their phones to them, and they appoint caretaker chairman for local government, never conduct elections. The local government system is not independent. This is because the governors have taken control of it. They will do the same thing if they have state police. I think that was what he was trying to say about his reluctance to endorse, devolution of powers at that level, devolving the central authority of the police and devolve it to state. That's his argument. He also spoke about the farmers' herders crisis. President Buhari's solution still remains grazing routes. He thinks that, he said, from all the agri ministers, from Audu Ogbe to the current one, Mahmoud, all of them have prescribed for him grazing routes as the one major solution to the farmer herders crisis. That one made a lot of negative reaction, especially from the PDP. They cannot believe that the president is talking about grazing routes in this day and age. The PDP is accusing him of lacking ideas on how to solve this problem. And then the president went to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu matter and said that he will allow the judicial process play. He will not interfere. The judiciary is one area he will not interfere with, unquote. That's what he said. And that Nnamdi Kanu should enjoy and finish his trial. Ohanes Ndigbo has replied immediately that they will engage the president again. Remember, some senior Igbo leaders led by Basulike Amechi had approached the president and said, releasing Nnamdi Kanu conditionally, as a panacea for peace in the southeast. The president at that time said he would consider it even if he had one. But he said yesterday that door is closed, no political solution, letting Nnamdi Kanu finish his trial. That's another area he said he will not interfere. But there are more of reactions than the comments the president made. There was another area where they asked him about if he has a choice for a successor. In one breath, he said no, he doesn't have a preferred candidate. And then he went on to say again that if he mentions the name of the person he prefers, he will be eliminated. Some kind of imbalance in the way he answers questions, And there were instances where the interviewers are trying to ask Mr. President about what he's doing, to take 100 million people out of poverty, about the difficult economic indices that stares the nation in the face, the hardship, the data, the real data of the reality of the Nigerian situation. When you became president in 2015, it was 197 naira to the dollar. It's over 400 naira today. The inflation, everything. Mr. President left the answers and went straight to talking about their 2.5 million arable land. Only 2.5% of the arable land in Nigeria has been cultivated. And everybody must go back to farm. Students who are educated should know that. No privileges. I mean, he really does not answer the question that I don't know if this was the plan, but these are the issues, and that's why I see the reactions are plenty now. The PDP have reacted. Afeni Ferry is telling him that the issue of state police is not even your making. You don't understand restructuring. When we come to the restructuring debates, your time will pass and we'll have restructuring. Or Alex Ndigo is saying you must find a political solution to the Nnamdi Kanu affair. So people will interpret this interview with, as they see it, differently. But essentially the president addressed some very pertinent issues, but did not address some very other important ones that were put to him.
Magodo, Southwest Governor, SANS attack Malami IG AJF faults alleged impunity, and the rider Lagos sets up committee agrees to give judgment creditors land. Pages 2 and 6, the Punch newspapers this morning.
One time, I think Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is now finding solution to that matter. Yesterday, his brother governors in the Southwest were very unhappy about, again, they kept saying they don't like the way the CSP treated Governor Sanwo-Olu like a school prefect, they said, and that this shows again that the issue of state police, through federalism, is an agitation that will not go away, because how can you be chief security officer and a lowly a superintendent of police is talking to you like that in public? They did not like it, and they felt that the governors, as well led by Rotimi Akeredolu, the governor, a senior advocate, felt like that the Attorney General and the IG shouldn't have created that kind of environment, that exposed the governor to such open ridicule. And they're asking Mr. President and to call the AGF to order and call the IG to order as well. But the AGF issued a statement last night. I was saying, what impunity? There was no impunity there. We're enforcing the Supreme Court judgment. That it was from my office. I sent the policemen. I remember, but Sanwo-Olu has said that he called the AGF and the AGF told him there were no policemen there. But the AGF is saying something else now, that he was the one who sent the policemen there. He got the buy-in of the IG to send the policemen there, and they were going just simply enforcing a Supreme Court judgment that has lasted over, and that he investigated the matter. He knew about those issues, and it was time to effect that judgment. But eventually, yesterday, Governor Sanwo-Olu called all the stakeholders to a meeting, and I think a solution has been found. What I read from that meeting is that after the meeting yesterday, it was agreed that a committee set up by the government to resolve the Magodo dispute, chaired by the Attorney General of Lagos, agreed that the Surveyor General of Lagos and the Permanent Secretary of the Lands Bureau and the Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development are to immediately identify available plots of land within the Shangisha village scheme. The committee is also to identify how the available lands are to be assessed and if any infrastructural development is necessary to assess the land. 4, upon identifying these lands, available lands, the state government is to immediately allocate the land to the 549 judgment creditors. 5, in the event that there is no available and accessible land within the Shangisha village scheme to allocate these lands, the state government, in agreement with the judgment creditors, will provide alternative plots of land. The Koyi land I told you about, I don't know if it's Koyi. If I was one of the creditors, I would insist.
Is it you?
Yeah. But while this exercise is ongoing, the Nigerian police must restrain themselves from any conduct or action that may instigate violence or breakdown of law in Magodo. They should be keepers of peace and act within the confines of the law. This was the agreement they had yesterday, and I think this was a solution that should have been initiated a long time. It was while the government was dilly-dallying that the judgment creditors began to think that, again, after all these 38 years, after all these years, that was when they went to Abuja and reminded the Attorney General that this is a Supreme Court judgment, that has not been implemented, and that's why the Attorney General deployed policemen to Magodo Estate to try to effect that Supreme Court judgment. But I think, like I said, therefore, you cannot operate homes. It will be in the 21st century. You can't do that. This is the kind of solution you make authority for them. 549 plots of land. The Lagos State government can find. If they don't see in Magodo, they can come to Aja or go to Ekpe. They will see. But the creditor would not like to go to Ekpe. No. If I was one of those creditors, I'll choose land around Banana Island, Ikoyi, Roxton, those areas, those choice areas.
Oh, God.
Give me even if it's half plots.
That's okay with you, right? Okay.
Did you enjoy this video? Hit the subscribe button for more, leave a comment, and like. Thank you.